Hi, let's continue with basic PHP programming. This is a list of suggestions how you should use this video. The notes for this video can be found here at this URL, which is already loaded here. And if you scroll down a little bit, this is where we stopped. We did EG002 basic halfway, and the file is still here. Okay, as you can see the name of the file. And we did not switch off the Apache web server. XAMPP is still here, so we just leave it there. And then the output is here. Okay, so first we are going to do some date functions. And you know that PHP, there's a date function. And it is under this format with a lot of strings. Okay, so by putting the string, for example, first you set a time zone, and then you say you want to know today's date. Let's say today is Sunday. You just put the letter L. So L means today's date. Okay. So to do that, let's see. We make sure that we are doing PHP, and then we want to do like set a time zone. But we need a time zone identifier, so we can always go and Google I don't know what it's called, let's guess it's called time zone identifier. So you can come over here, you say, hey, there's a list of supported time zones, and in America, I'm in Chicago, so let's say Chicago time zone, which is Central Time. Right, so I put Chicago here, Control C, Control V. And then I say I want to know today's date. So you should get Sunday. Yep, today is Sunday. So if you want something more interesting, like I want to know the year. So big Y is for big year. I want to know the month in number. I want to know the day in number. And then I want something to show in between. I can do this. I can define a variable called date. And then I can say I define it as the date function. Enter a string. Put minus in between, hyphen. You are actually going to get. Oh, you need to echo it. I'm going to use a different echo format just to confuse people. So you will get today's date, 2020, March 22nd. Okay? And you say, I don't like this format, I want to do another format. You can just change this. I don't like hyphen, I want to say Monday year. You can just do month, day, and year, and then you get big year, you get March 22nd, 2020. But let's say I don't like 20, I like it to be, I don't like 2020, I just want to show 20. So instead of using a big year, capital year, you use a lowercase year. You are going to get a short form, okay? And then you say, hey, I'm British. I like the British system. All you need to do is change put a day in front, put a month at the back, and I like the big year for the British system. You are going to have the British date, day, month, and year. Okay? And of course, there's other things you want to do, like I just want the year, I don't want anything else. Okay, so you just say in just 1 year, and this year is 2020. Okay. All right, that's pretty cool. So we finish date. Let's move on to simple if-else statements. Okay, really simple if-else statement. The syntax is almost exactly the, okay. There are many ways of writing an if-else statement in PHP. One of the way is to write it like Java. Okay, so if you define two variables, or if you don't know the syntax, you can just go Google it. So they will say PHP if-else statement. You can use W3 School, or you can use PHP Manual. PHP Manual is a very good resource. So this is the syntax of an if statement. That's another way to write this. Or if-else. Okay, so I'm just, this looks like Java, so we should be fine. So we say I have A is equal to 10, B is equal to 12, if. So always write the syntax first, else. Don't worry about the logic later. All right. So let's say if else, if A is equal to B, we do something or else do something. Remember, this equal is two equals. Okay, if it's one equal, it's actually a sign. It's always true. So a lot of people make mistake by writing one equal and don't know why. It's always true because you miss an equal. So it's two equals is equal in value. Three equals means equal in value and type. So let's just do two equals. And we are really lazy, so I'm just going to do this. Okay. So obviously 10 is not equal to 12, right? Because the if statement works. Okay. And the next one we are going to, a lot of times, you write if else statement to check if user input something. Okay, if the user didn't input something, the variable can be empty. Okay. So you can say that there is a function called empty. Okay, if the investment is empty, then you say something. Okay, so if you do this, you will see, hey, investment is a required field. Okay, because it is. There's nothing inside if it is empty. So with that, we conclude the emotional, relational operators. I think we still have time. We can do a little bit of loops. So I'm going to copy this. Let me move this one up a little bit. Okay, we are going to write a simple while loop, and then we are going to write a simple for loop. Okay. All right. So let's say I want to write a simple while loop. We can always find out the syntax. On the PHP menu or W3 Schools. So let's look at the, since we have been looking at the PHP menu, we can always look at W3 Schools. Simple while loop, just like Java. Okay, let's say I want to do a simple while loop from 1 to 6. So I declare a counter, and I call my counter x. I can technically just take this, right? While it's less than or equal to 6, the number is whatever x plus plus, the counter. So you say the number is 1 to 6. Okay? And if you want to do calculation, there is a way to do this, is say x times 2 is equal to something. You can say x times 2 is equal to x times 2. You break this to you can force it to calculate. You will get 1 times 2 equal to 2, 2 times 2 equal to 4, 3 times 2 equal to 6, and so on and so forth. So that's how to write a simple for while loop. Okay. If I do the same thing, let's say I want to write a simple for loop. Okay, I'm going to skip do while loop. Okay, you can figure it out. Do while loop actually is on my example. On my example on this file, so I'm going to move on to for loop. So let's say I want to write a for loop from 1 to 12. Okay. So you can always go Google PHP for loop. You can look at the menu, you can look at some other places. W3 School is fine for simple loops like this. So say I want to write a for loop from, okay, before I move on, I actually want to create some gap. Oh, probably I should add a /n here. Okay, so I'm going to write a for loop from 1 to 12. So you are going to get 1 to 12 here. Okay, if you do not like this, just get rid of this thing in front and concat into br/n. You will get 1 to 12 in a for loop. Okay, if you don't like 1 to 12, you want to 1, 3, 5, you can just do +2, jump the counter, you get 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. So that's a simple for loop. How about a double for loop? Let's say you want to do a double for loop of 6 rows, and okay, that's probably a bit too much. Let's say I want to do a 4 rows and 3 columns. Okay, double for loop. So I write one for loop first. So let's say I want 4 rows, so my x will be equal to 1 to 4. I will get my 4 rows and 3 columns. I'm going to use y for the second loop. So y is equal to 1 to 3. Don't forget to change the variables. Okay, and if I only okay, so if I just put x, you are going to have 12x here. Okay, that's not what you want, right? You have to break after each row, so I'm going to move my bl/n here and get rid of the bl/n here. So you are going to have 4 rows. For each row you get y value 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want to see the y value, you have to put it there. So you're going to get 1, 2. Oh, let me put a semicolon. So you have 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, row, column, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, second row, and third row. Okay, a very simple double for loop. And if you want to put everything in a table format, what you can do is if you want to put everything in a table format, what you can do is write the table first, okay, and then put that into the code. Okay. To do that, you have to write a table. Okay. And then for the table, you are going to have row. Okay. And then for each row, you are going to have columns. Oops. So as you can see, this is a simple table of 1 row and 2 columns, right? And if you put something, okay, I'm not going to put style, okay, probably I should. I'm going to do that later, but right now I'm just going to do something really fast and dirty. Probably that will give me a, this is a tiny table, okay? Tiny table of 1 row and 2 columns. Okay, so I'm not sure if this one will pass the check. Let me quickly check. So if I put this into the validator, so if I put this into the markup validator, yep, ISI is, they don't like the border style, so they like me to use CSS. Let me fix that. So I can do a simple style. Okay, let me try that. I think I need something slightly more tedious than this. Okay, let me get rid of this first. And I'm going to put style in the head. Okay, I'm going to put style in the head, and I'm going to put a simple CSS border for table. Alright, these are CSS stuff, not really PHP, so I'm not going to explain too much. That will give me some border, and also make the validator happy. So if I view source and choose everything, Control C, and go back to the validator and check, yay, no error. So now the validator is happy because I use CSS. Okay, so I have a very simple table here built. Now what I need is I want to use this table format. Okay, obviously when you have two rows, you are going to have, when you have two rows, will have two rows here. Okay. All right. So now I want to extend my for loop to include the table. Okay. There are two ways to do it. One way is to put this into PHP. Another way is to put PHP into HTML. Okay. So I'm going to do the easier way. I'm going to put this into PHP, which is actually not a very good thing to do, but it works. Okay, so I say I'm going to have a table. And I'm going to have an end table. Obviously you won't see anything here. Okay. And then I'm going to have a for loop of rows. 4 rows. Okay, 4 rows. 4 rows will be 40 hours. Okay, 40 hours. Right, obviously you're not going to see anything here because you are just going to have empty rows, and then for each row we are going to have 3 columns, and each column is a TD. Okay, so I'm going to put a TD here. Now I will have 4 rows, 3 columns of 1s, but we don't want 1s. We want to put in x and y's. Okay, so this one works. I'm just going to leave it there. Later you can comment it out if you want to, but meanwhile I'm just going to leave it there. It doesn't hurt. Okay, So this is your example. So instead of using 1, I'm going to break that, okay, into x and y. And the x and y will be here. Okay, so you're going to get x and y is here, just like above, but it's wrapped in a table. Okay, so that, I think that's a pretty good place to start, to stop for this video. This video get a little bit too long, but we cover a lot of things like date, if else statements, loops. We'll even write a table with it. Okay. All right, and when you write a table, remember that it's always good to write the HTML first, and then wrap it in PHP. So you don't want to deal with PHP code and HTML code at the same time. You want to take care of HTML first, validate, make sure it's good, then you deal with your PHP code. Okay. All right, that's a good place to stop. Thanks for watching. We'll continue later. Bye.